And we have another topic, and a very interesting one tonight. It is about gout. It is a common disease in the Philippines. Gout is characterized by a sudden onset of pain, redness, and tenderness in joints. And just to clear some things out, we will not be talking about osteoarthritis, which is something that comes with aging, with wear and tear. We will not be talking about rheumatoid arthritis, which has something to do with a faulty immune system. Instead, tonight, we will be focusing something that has something to do with lifestyle, gouty arthritis. Now, the food that we eat has this structure, DNA. And in this DNA, parts of the backbone of it has this thing we call purines. When we eat foods that contain purines, it is processed by the body, and the byproducts are called uric acid. But normally, your system will just flush it out through your kidney so that there will be no problems. But for those with problems like kidney problems, or there's just so much purines in their body, or uric acid I should say, these become a problem like crystals. They form crystals and they go to your joints, and so you have pain in your joints when these crystals deposit. Now, there are risk factors for developing gout. One is diet, high in purines. Number two is having a weight that is excess of normal, like obesity. When you have medical conditions, like you have problems in your kidney so that you cannot flush it out. And age, usually at around 30 to 50 years old. When gout is not controlled, there are complications like kidney stones and, of course, deformation of your joints, aside from the pain that is always associated with gout. To prevent gout, there are things that you can avoid. Number one, top on the list, are alcoholic beverages. Previous nights, we have talked about the bad effects of alcohol like cancer, health problems, and violence. Here's another reason why you should avoid alcohol. It causes gout because of the high purine content. You should stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, and avoid sugary drinks. Okay, so you have to say goodbye to those sodas and the like. You have, because it is a risk factor, obesity is a risk factor for gout, you have to maintain a healthy weight. I will discuss more about maintaining a healthy weight in the coming nights. And you have to avoid foods that are high in purine. Now, which of these following foods I would flash is high in purine? Is it letter A, shrimp? Letter B, meat? Or letter C, beads like munggo? What's your answer? A, B, or C? I can't hear. I can hear you. We have a lot of answers. Okay. Most answered in this question, they answered C, beans. Do beans actually cause gouty arthritis? Here's the numbers, but I think you would prefer to see something like this. Here's the purine content per 100 grams of a bunch of foods. Top on the list is yeast, followed by sardines. And internal organs like cow liver, pork liver. Then a lot of fishes like tuna, salmon, anchovy, and a lot of seafoods actually. Lobster, shrimp, they're on the high purine content. Followed by poultry like chicken, and we have duck here. Still more fishes, then shells. Then we have meat over here. Then followed by the beans. So, compared, the mungo is around here. Compared to all the other food stuff that you have seen, who has the highest purine actually? It's your seafoods and your meat products. So when Filipinos eat this munggo with alugbati and shrimp, who do they blame for their gout? Who do they blame for the pain? It's the munggo. They say it's the munggo, even if the comparatively so little compared to the shrimp. They don't blame the shrimp. In a study published in at least 3 large journals, a 12-year study by the Harvard done by a rheumatologist, he found out that those who love to eat meat high in purines have a 40% chance of developing gout. Among those who love seafoods like tuna, shrimp, and lobsters and shells, they were 50% likely to develop gout. And for those actually drinking alcohol, they found out that the lower the amount of alcohol intake was associated with lower or fewer gout flare-ups. And surprisingly, eating vegetables with purines like beans, mushrooms were not. It was not associated with gout attacks. That's their study, Harvard study. If we see the American College of Rheumatology, this is the list of foods that they want you to avoid. Still the same. Seafoods and red meats, alcohol and sugary drinks. Do you see beans in the list? No, you don't see beans on the list. From Mayo Clinic, one of the best institutions in the world, they say, still the same, limit meat, poultry, and fish. And they go on to say, they gave a lot of examples. Limit or avoid alcohol. Then I don't want you to miss this. They said, to avoid saturated fat and, did they say avoid beans and legumes? No, they said choose plant-based proteins such as beans and legumes. They didn't say avoid, they said choose. Okay, is that clear? Obviously, because you need to have protein in your diet. When you cut out all of these sources, you have to have good sources of protein like your beans and legumes. So it appears that we have been barking on the wrong tree for a long time already. And of course, even if it has lower purines, you have to consume it in moderation. Yeah, and always remember that if you have gout and you don't want to have pain, you should cut off all the other foodstuffs that have high purine content before you try to judge your munggo. Okay? So it appears that the best way to avoid gout is also the best way to avoid heart disease, stroke, cancer, and the like. They have the same formula. A diet that is void of meat products and a lot of fiber from fruits and vegetables.